Hello YouTubers, this is Eric from Easy Computer Solution, and this is Worth It or Wait iPhone 6. The iPhone 6 was released in September 2014. As of today, I'm recording this video in July of 2015. So September of 2015 is just around the corner. Just like me, I got this phone on the release date, pre-ordered it, took 8 weeks for it to come in. And so let's talk about the pros and cons about the iPhone. And you know, I've lived with the iPhone 6, and I'm gonna tell you, if in my opinion, I would say wait. This is a wait on this one. And let's talk about it. You know, the first thing I want to talk about is the pros. The pros of this phone is that it's screen size. Apple always had a 3.5-inch screen or 4-inch screen, but this iteration, the iPhone 6, finally, Apple have came out with a 4.7-inch screen. Retina display of 1334 by 750 resolution. That's a 326 ppi, and that's pixels per inch. The build quality is great, the best design so far. Apple has always delivered top-notch in design, and this one is no exception. Apple have did a real good job with the iPhone 6, and the build quality is great. Let's talk about performance. Performance is great. Remember, Apple builds this product so on paper, the average fan will laugh at the spec sheet. But the iPhone 6 usually it blows everything out of the water. Believe it or not, the iPhone 6 only have a dual-core 1.4 gigahertz Apple A chip processor with 1 gig of RAM. Let's put that in perspective. The Note 4 has a 2.7 gigahertz quad-core processor, and the iPhone 6 is a whole lot smoother, in my opinion, than the Note 4. Now, I don't want to go into a Apple versus Android battle, but I'm just saying it as a side note. You know, another pro is the camera. The camera's good. 8 megapixels does a good job. Apple always have done a great job on iPhones. Making the 8 megapixel camera on this phone is exceptionally good. And so, again, the phone, after almost a year, it runs fast, it's very fluid, and the design, the build design, of course, we went with gold. And if you can remember my iPhone 6 Plus video, which I gave that Worth It, you can check that video out and leave a description of that video down below. Now, let's talk about the bad stuff. Let's talk about the cons. Why did I say wait on this phone? Well, one of the biggest issues with the phone, to me, in my opinion, is that when I ordered the phone, you know, I waited 8 weeks for it to come in. I got the 16 gig. The reason why I got the 16 gig version is because that's the only one that was in stock. There's no way Apple should have a 16 gig model. I mean, I made the biggest mistake getting the 16 gig model, because as soon as I got the phone, I filled it up with my photos, music, and content. So I don't have any more space on this phone at all. And you got to remember, Apple has 3 storage options. 16 gig at $649, 64 gig at $749, and you can get 128 gigs, but that's $849. Now that's paying off contract. Now, so after taxes, this 16 gig iPhone cost me over $700. That's bullshit. Excuse my language. For a phone for $700, listen, we should have a lot more than some of the shortcomings that this phone gives. And one of the biggest deal breakers for me about this phone is the battery life. Oh my God, the battery life on this phone is terrible. Now you may hear from other tech reviewers that the iPhone 6 will get you through the day. I tell you, that is not true. That's true if you don't do anything on your phone. But if you like checking your email, looking at social media, watching YouTube videos, playing games, and reading books on this phone, I've gotten maybe 4 hours of battery life out of this phone. Now, the phone is equipped with an 1810 milliamp battery. Just to kind of put that in perspective, the iPhone 6 Plus has a 2915 milliamp battery, which definitely gets you through the day. And the camera, you know, that is a con also, because the camera do not have optical image stabilization, which we call it iOS. So what happens is some of your videos may be a little jumpy, your low light shot it will be a little kind of on the dim side, kind of grainy and stuff like that. So definitely no OIS on the iPhone 6. Another kind is the protruding camera. A lot of tech reviewers talk about this camera, and look at that. You see that camera that's protruding out? If you put it on a flat surface, you can damage it, scratch it, and it wobbles. And it's definitely a flaw. Apple made the iPhone so thin and light that the camera lens had to protrude out, and that's, you know, that's bad. You know, didn't like it at all, don't like it. I mean, out of all the greatness that Apple have done, that's one of the biggest cons besides the battery life is a protruding camera. I mean, the protruding camera is terrible. So, at the end of the day, the iPhone 6, I'm going to say, is going to be a wait. And again, if you check out my iPhone 6 Plus video, you're going to see that I had a different opinion about it. But this, I will wait until September for the new iPhone to see what Apple brings to the table to improve this phone. So it's not worth it to get this phone as of July 2015. Thank you very much. This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. Please leave a comment below, like, share, and subscribe to my channel to see other beautiful videos that I make. And have a good day. See you on the next video. Peace.